So, here we are again. Dude. Alright, this really is trucker stuff. No bribes, no false statements, nothing. I'm such a bad boy. I'm going to burn in hell. Well, I think we all knew that. Last week, I was stuck for time. I was out of hours. It had been a ridiculously hot day. I won't lie, I was very stinky. Loads of sweating. So I needed a shower. And I looked at my hours and I looked at my time. And I figured, well, furthest I'll get is somewhere on the line with Birchanger services in the M11. Which I'm sure a lot of you know. Complete crap house. And it was either that or South Mims. Which is even more of a crap house. Although fortunately my firm can't get fuel there. Because in a completely separate incident, I cruised in there one day on vapour, basically. To the point where, when I got to a pump, which I then later found out had no diesel in it, the engine struggled to start to get me back round the truck park to get onto a pump that did have diesel in it. So anyway, this particular night, I looked at my little map book and I saw something in Enfield. Vehicle Services Park or Vehicle Coach Park or something like that. So anyway, I thought, well, I don't really have a choice. I thought it was probably be cheaper than the motos of this world. Yeah, so I thought, well, I'll run for that. That'll mean my average just about out. Which, as it turns out, I was right. So I got to Enfield, whatever it was, off the A10 through that big set of traffic lights, big junction. It's somewhere down there. I'll forget the name of the road. So I got there and pulled up. Love the staff. I have to say, I can't fault the staff. You know, they were polite. They explained everything that I asked. It's not their fault. They're probably on 12 grand a year, for Christ's sake, you know. Just trying to do a job. You know, the uniforms were all pressed and neat, and they had badges and stuff. So anyway, so I got there and he said, "Are you booked in?" And I thought, oh, here we go. It's not the usual preference of truck stops to say, "Are you booked in?" as you know. And I said, well, no, I'm not booked in. I'm out of time. This is the only place I could get to, really. What's the deal? So they issued me a parking space. All the parking spaces were numbered. which will make more sense in a minute. And I went back to the kiosk, you know, the reception area, whatever you call it, only to find out that this marvellous truck stop, where, by the way, you were entitled to listen to sirens all night and boy racers revving their engines around the industrial estate, which was just super. I found out it was run by Enfield Council. Oh dear. Now, you may disagree, but here's my personal point of view on this. Right, a council, that's fine. I can run a truck stop, I'm not saying I can't. I just think. I mean, they can pay for that by themselves. They get the council tax, don't they? So any sort of repairs to the yard, which there wasn't any large potholes or anything like you'd find in some of the motor service stations and stuff. Surely they could charge a minimal fee to keep the money turning over, take from the council tax, and then put the money back in with the people that park. But no, £16.50. Jesus. I mean, there's some motor service stations that charge that, And no food of any kind, no kettle, nothing to make a brew with, no TV, no recreation, not a snooker table on site. Just this block with them, the staff in it, and the shower room on the back. There was a shower, obviously. So that was fine. But yeah, £16.50. And if I'm not mistaken, continuing along the lines of Paul's Postbag, another of my videos, here we have the rules and regulations of the trucks at 2 pages. Which obviously, for those of you familiar with somewhere like a stockyard or Orwell Crossing, which I've recently just experienced, this is not it's really not on, old chap. So anyway, rules and regulations, which is what this really is about. You can see this headed here, Enfield Council. 1. We have 15 points. I'm not going to go through them all. The driver of the vehicle shall not permit that vehicle to wait in a parking space unless 2. The vehicle is licensed in accordance with the provisions of Section 1 of the Vehicles Excise Act 1971. It's a fascinating piece of reading, let me tell you. I mean, Google that, That'll take up a taco rig. And there is such a relation to the use of the vehicle by the driver, such a policy of insurance complies with the requirements of Part 6 of the Road Traffic Act 1972, and the vehicle is kept in a roadworthy condition. Permit needs to be displayed. So what they do when you pull into this place, they try and get you to sign up to shit. Weekly, monthly or quarterly concessionary rates only apply if purchased in advance. This explains why he was asked if I was booked in. Otherwise, normal daily charges apply. And I got a receipt. Oh God. I got a lovely receipt there. They probably thought I could claim it on expenses or something. This is, oh God. This is what all my other videos are about, because this is, be it council, MP, police, this is their view of the real world. This is how they perceive that things go on, Because again, as I said, why would you seriously put up with this from any other truck stop? Oh God. Right. The council and our lorry park managers, this is point 5, reserve the right to fit a suitable wheel clamp to any vehicle where payment of the parking fee is not being paid. Fair enough. I'm sure that's quite standard actually. I'm sure there is a sign somewhere in most truck stops that says something along those lines. Oh God. But here we go, point 6. Entry to and use of this public lorry park is on the basis of the customers read and accept the terms of this notice. Which is amazing, because as truck drivers most people think we can't read. Because we're thicko truck drivers. As I pointed out to my local lot many times. Customers are warned that as this is public lorry park is open to everyone, the council and the company cannot guarantee the security of the vehicles or contents, which would explain the two big barriers, entry and exit, you know. So in other words, they're saying you pay us your money for secure parking, but we'll rip your load off overnight, you know. Accordingly, though, the council and the company, their servants and agents do not... How many people are involved in that? The council and the company, their servants and agents do not exempt themselves from their common law duty of care or skill. Which is good, because I haven't seen any yet. Or their duty of care imposed by the Occupiers Liability Act 1957 and 1984. Google that. Seriously. I haven't bothered. Even I know that's sad. Or their contractual obligation of reasonable care. They will not accept any liability for any damage to or loss of vehicles and contents due to acts or omissions outside their reasonable control. Oh, God. So what the saying is, you can pay your money, that doesn't guarantee your security. They do have a duty of care, but if someone robs your wagon, it's not their fault. Even though you're parked on their land. And I imagine this is council land. And it was about the size of a basketball court, by the way, this truck park. God. No person shall within, carrying on, no person shall within a parking place deposit any goods, builders' materials, items of furniture, vehicle part, or any rubbish of any description. So I think that pretty much covers it, you know, the whole dropping of rubbish. The cost of removal, this is made black letters now, you can see here. We're on to point 7 there. There we go. The cost of removal of any such items deposited shall be recoverable with the council from persons or persons responsible. So if I let a pikey pull in and drop a dead couch off and drive out again, yeah, I'm sure they're going to chase them. I wonder if I get the registration number. Oh dear. Right, so I'm going to miss a couple there. No maintenance work to be carried out on vehicles in a lorry park. Emergency breakdown companies will be permitted to carry out essential works to get the vehicle going, so that it can leave the lorry park for repairs. So they're really not that interested in unsafe on-roadway vehicles, are they? If you're limping down the road with a gibbered gearbox. They just want you out, as long as they've got their bloody money. Oh dear. Suppose I can nick you then, because I'll phone them up and tell them. Vehicles will be allotted to the parking space and drivers must park in this bay at all times unless authorised not to. So you can't change your view, not even if you want to. All drivers must adhere to the 10-mile-an-hour speed limit whilst in the lorry park. Well, I say you'd be struggling to get above 10, to be honest, the size of the place. Oh dear. I mean, seriously, you know, if you see a fire, please alert a member of staff. Honestly, you'd feel the heat of the fire before you bloody saw it. The place is so small. Just, can you read that? If I put that up there for a second. I mean, this is what's wrong. This is the point of these. Yeah, call them rants and raves if you want, but this is the point of the thing. That's what I'm doing. You know, we don't need that. A 15-hour day. We want to pull in, park up, on rest. God, give me a beer, give me a burger, whatever. You know, let's have a smoke. Enfield Council. There we go. To be honest, I think it's great. But if councils want to start doing this, minimal fee, especially if they're not going to provide any kind of canteen, kettle, food, nothing. You know, £10 or whatever, and show a few things to Moto and stuff, and maybe they'll drop the prices a bit if a few council parking lots spring up within their vicinity, which I'm sure is completely legal. So what's the problem? But no, they actually really, for what you get, the councils are charging more, and they're still getting the council tax to fix everything. So it's just money in their pocket for chief executive officers who earn £120,000 a year. You know. Enough said, I think.